Have you ever looked at your smartphone, then at a government form, and wondered if you'd somehow traveled back in time? It's a feeling we all know, right? Well, today we're going to dig into why that is. We're exploring the invisible system that seems purpose-built to stop government from ever evolving. To really wrap our heads around this, let's just lay it out. We're living in a tale of two completely different worlds, happening at the exact same time. I mean, think about it. Our world is all about AI, things instantly appearing on the cloud. Everything is constantly changing, supposedly getting better. But then you step into their world, and all of a sudden it's paper forms, fax machines. Seriously, who even has a fax machine anymore? And these endless lines, all governed by rules from who knows when. The gap is just massive. So you have to ask yourself, is this just random? Is it just bad luck? Well, what if I told you this is no accident? What if this resistance to change isn't a bug, but a feature? We're talking about an unintentional structure, a system that is almost perfectly designed to stay exactly as it is. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Why does this happen? The source material we're looking at boils it down to 4 hidden design flaws, 4 big traps that keep the entire system locked in place. So first up, and this one is huge, the number one priority, the absolute prime directive inside a government bureaucracy is do not fail. And what's the easiest way to guarantee you don't fail? You got it. Don't try anything new. Forget about cool new tech like AI or cloud adoption. That's all risky. The safest, smartest play is always to stick with what's been done before. This fear of failure, it creates this powerful force that just pushes back against any new idea. I mean, put yourself in their shoes. Say you're the one who champions a new reform, and it flops. Who gets the blame? Not the system. You do. So for any rational person inside that structure, the logical choice is simple. Keep your head down and never, ever take that risk. And that whole mindset completely shapes what a good career looks like. It's not about being a visionary or shaking things up. No, the goal is to serve quietly, not make any waves, and cruise smoothly toward retirement with a clean record. From that viewpoint, evolution and change aren't exciting opportunities. They are direct threats to your personal stability. And finally, the way people are judged on their performance just reinforces all of this. You don't get a gold star for innovation. You don't get a bonus for making things more efficient. The highest achievement is simply keeping the machine running without any problems. By definition, success is the status quo. So you take these 4 traps, you put them all together, and what happens? You get a system designed for pure, unshakable stability, smashing head-on into a world that demands constant, rapid change. And that's a recipe for a huge dilemma. The source gives this a perfect name, an evolution-rejecting design. It's a fantastic term. It means the system's main goal isn't to get better. It's not to be more efficient. It's just to keep the lights on and avoid a meltdown. By its very nature, the system is designed to reject progress. And this is where it gets really dangerous. The source uses this brilliant Japanese phrase, moya yuragaeru jotai, which means we're in a boiling frog state. You know the analogy, right? The frog is in a pot of water, and the heat is turned up so slowly, so gradually, that it doesn't even realize it's being boiled alive. That's the system, so focused on what's happening inside that it's oblivious to the world outside getting hotter and hotter until it's too late. But it's not all doom and gloom. The situation isn't actually hopeless. The source does offer a few potential ways out of this mess, real structural changes that could force the system to adapt, whether it wants to or not. So here's the game plan, a kind of 3-pronged attack on this inertia. First, bring in term limits. All of a sudden, there's a deadline. You either innovate or you're out. Second, create a performance-based system that flips the incentives and actually rewards improvement. And third, mandate hiring from the outside. Forcefully inject new blood, especially IT talent with fresh ideas. The whole point is to make evolution a necessity for survival, not just a nice-to-have. Now, if these solutions seem so clear, it just leads to the biggest, most frustrating question of all. Yeah, what is stopping us? Why haven't these things been done already? Well, the answer reveals the fundamental paradox here, the ultimate catch-22, at the very heart of this problem. And here it is. The very people who have the power to enact these reforms, the politicians, the top-level bureaucrats, are the exact same people who benefit the most from the current system. Asking them to change it is like asking them to vote against their own job security. Which leads us to the final and maybe the most powerful conclusion from all of this. the role that we, the public, actually have to play.
So if you've ever felt that frustration, that skepticism, that gut feeling the government will never change unless it's literally forced to, well, you should know that you're right. You are absolutely correct. Your frustration isn't just an emotion. It's an accurate assessment of how the system is designed to work.
The source puts it bluntly, arguing that without change, the system just preserves what it calls tax-funded incompetence. It's a brutal phrase, but the point is clear. Without pressure from the outside, the system will always protect its own inertia.
And that brings us to the core conclusion. Since the system won't, and really logically can't, reform itself from within, the pressure has to come from the outside. The only real catalyst for change is sustained, focused pressure from citizens demanding something better.
Which leaves us with one final thought. The frog is in the water, and the temperature is definitely rising. We know that change is possible, but it really begs the question, will that lukewarm water ever actually boil? Well, that depends entirely on whether enough of us decide it's finally time to turn up the heat.